I'm going to teach you what you need to do in order to make 6 figures in private practice. I'm whispering because I know so many of us as therapists are afraid to ask the question, how do I make 6 figures in private practice? However, so many of us want to know, right? Life is expensive. So in this video, we are going to break down 3 things that you need to do in order to earn 6 figures in private practice this year. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Kelley Stevens. I teach therapists how to build private practices. This is what I love to do, and I have taught over 2,000 therapists how to build successful private practices. So let's get into step 1 of earning 6 figures this year in your private practice. Step number 1 is you need to do the math. Now, before you pause the video and panic, I know so many of us as therapists hate doing math. I want to tell you a little story. When I was in my first few years in private practice, I had an amazing mentor, Kimberly, who we would go on walks every single week, and I was just trying to figure out how I was going to pay off my student loans, how I was going to afford living in Los Angeles where I lived at the time, and how I was going to afford to have kids and just pay for my life. And it was expensive, right? And the biggest piece of advice Kimberly gave me, which I give all of my students in my courses, is you need to work backward, meaning you need to figure out exactly how much you want to earn per year. That can be anything, right? It could be 200,000, it could be 100,000, it could be 300,000. You figure out how much you want to earn, and then you need to work backward. So you need to figure out how many sessions that you need to see per year and how much you need to bill per session in order to reach your goal. You also kind of need to take into consideration your tax rate and how much you're going to be taxed and how much you get to take home. And you need to figure out what your business expenses are. Now, all of that sounds really complicated, but if you take the time to actually just sit down and put on paper what your business expenses are, what your fee is, how many clients you plan to see per week, and how much you're going to pay in taxes, you can actually reverse engineer how you're going to reach your 6-figure goal. That's item number 1. I want you to do the math. Once you have done the math to figure out how many sessions that you need to see and what you need to charge in order to reach your financial goal, you need to do the second thing. And again, I don't want you to panic and pause the video. The second thing is you need to get really good at marketing yourself. So therapists who have 6-figure private practices have gotten clear on the fact that they need to promote themselves, right? A lot of times if you're taking insurance companies are sending you clients, you're not having to market yourself as much. However, you might not be hitting that 6-figure goal because a lot of times insurance companies' reimbursements aren't as good as cash pay rates. If you want to charge a premium fee for therapy, you really need to position yourself in your marketing as an expert, and you need to have a niche. I know that if you watch content about how to build a successful 6-figure private practice, you've probably heard the word niche. Sometimes people call it niche, right? I never really know what to call it. But either way, you need to be an expert who's in your community and who's really serving a specific type of client at a specific point or journey. You really need to be seen as a person who is serving a very specific type of client and that you are an expert in that area. The reason for this is if clients are going to be paying a premium fee for therapy, they really want to know, I am investing my hard-earned money and time into seeing an expert. Also, if you are going to be getting referrals from quality referral sources, they need to know that you are an expert in your area that really has experience in education and training around the topics, issues, and diagnoses that you treat. In order to be able to convey all of that to clients and referral sources, you need to get really comfortable with promoting yourself. And I know for so many of us as therapists, we didn't learn how to do that in school. We might feel like some imposter syndrome, or we might feel really overwhelmed by learning how to market ourselves, but it's a skill that you can learn. I have an entire online course that teaches teaches you how to do it, and I'll link that below. But the biggest thing that I tell everyone in my courses is this, and I'm going to give away this secret, but good marketing is about service to your community, right? It's about saying, here are the clients that I love to treat. Let me tell you about my passion and why I love working with them. How can I serve clients better in my community? How can I team up with other referral sources to provide resources in our community? How can I partner with psychiatrists and doctors to be able to provide really great care? Can I provide free resources on Instagram? Whatever it is, it's about being of service. And that's a lot of what we break down in my marketing course. But just know that if you are going to reach 6 figures this year, you got to get good at marketing, and you can do it. Here's number 3 in creating a 6-figure private practice that might really surprise you. Therapists who have successful private practices are excellent clinicians. So often, if you are watching videos of experts online teaching you how to market yourself, especially if they are not therapists, people will forget that at the end of the day, we are therapists who provide really good care. And I'll tell you, in successful, healthy private practices, the majority of referrals are coming from past clients. Now, obviously, this depends a little bit on the population that you serve and whether the clients you work with really are investing in wanting to come to therapy, and certainly not everyone is, so some people won't send their friends, but for the majority of private practice therapists, a lot of your referrals are going to come from past clients. That's why the first 10 clients are so hard to get, right? Because they're not necessarily coming from past referrals. But if you are able to provide clinically excellent care and your clients have a positive, transformative experience working with you, you are much more likely to build a successful business. I'm telling you this because I don't want you to forget the value of providing really good care. Last thing, this is your free bonus tip. Building a successful private practice and being a therapist who earns a good living is a good thing. So often as therapists, we are told that earning a good living makes us a bad person, and that's not true. We need more therapists in our industry who are earning good money, who are building longevity, and who want to stay in this career for the rest of their lives. So get out there, you can do it, build that private practice of your dreams, and I'll see you in my next video.